Hello, I'm Amy Henderson. I am the Director of Career Services here at Shelton State Community College. I want to start by congratulating you on being a part of this class and earning a certificate toward a career that you want to go into. So we're going to talk about a couple of things that Shelton State offers that since you are a part of this class, you can take advantage of some services that we offer here at Shelton State. Wanted just to start again by congratulating you, but also by saying this is a first step for you. So every day from now on is a part of an interview process. Each day you are going out into the workplace and representing yourself, now Shelton State as part of that, and also your family. So one of the things that we want to talk about today is how do I get that first job? So now you have a credential that you can use to earn the job that you wanted, whether it be physical therapy assistant, medical dental assistant, whatever it is that you're here for at Shelton State. What I want to say is use your network. Your network are people that you have met here at Shelton. Your network are people that you go to church with, that you're friends with, that your kids play baseball with. Any of those people, tell them what you want to do. A lot of times in the job market, in fact, research shows us that 80% of jobs are not jobs that are listed or posted. They're jobs that someone just meets you, sees you, decides that you would be a good fit for their company. Or, for example, if you're at the baseball park with your son or your daughter or a friend, ask the person sitting beside you, tell them you're going to Shelton State, you've gotten this credential, and this is what you want to go into. A lot of times they'll say, oh, well, hey, I know someone who works at a dental office. They were looking for somebody. Let me tell you their name. And that's a great way to find job leads. Obviously, things like Indeed.com are great ways to find jobs, but networking and knowing people are always the best resource. We want to talk a little bit about resumes. Now, resumes are very important because it gives you an opportunity to introduce yourself to a company or an individual that you didn't know. So what I want you to think about your resume is part of your brand, the brand that you want to present to people. So obviously, when you get a job, you want it to be error-free. You don't want the font to be, your name to take up half the page. If you don't have a lot of work experience, just put that on there. Be sure that you've done something. What you want your resume to do is tell who you are, what you've done, and what you can do for a company. So we'll just if you can imagine a resume, at the top of a resume, obviously there's your name, your phone number, email address, mailing address. One of the things I would say is make sure that your phone number is correct. A lot of times phone numbers are incorrect on resumes, and numerous times it is very hard for people to contact you. Also, make sure that your voicemail is part of your image or your brand that you're wanting to portray, because that would say something like, hey, this is Amy, please leave me a message. Instead of, a lot of times we will hear from students that they will have something that says, hello, hello, I can't hear you, hello, hello. And it's that funny message. Recruiters just hang up and they don't leave a message and they don't call you back. So be sure that your voicemail, it doesn't have to be something majorly professional, but just something like, hey, this is Amy, please leave me a message. The other thing with voicemail, I would say, is make sure that your voicemail is activated so that people can leave you a voicemail and that it is not full. A lot of people's voicemail boxes are full and people can't leave messages. Unfortunately, if you're in a crowd of 15 people and all of you are applying for the same job, a recruiter, and all of you have the same credentials, a recruiter is not going to continue to call you until you answer the phone. So be sure that they can leave a message for you. So the next thing is email addresses. Now, we all have a personal email address that we may have opened in high school. It may be an AOL address. It could be a nickname that you were called in high school, Cheer Chick 387, or Bama Dude 911. You want to be sure that your email address that you're putting on your resume is professional. You can always go to Gmail and create one of those for free. It's absolutely fine to use numbers in that, but I would maybe use something like your first name hyphen your last name or something like that to be professional when you're putting that on your resume and job applications. Also, make sure that that is correct, because what companies are going to now, we're seeing a shift from companies calling students to emailing. So if you put your email address on your resume, be sure that you're checking that email address. Companies, some of our larger employers in Tuscaloosa especially, and I think this is going to start trickling down, instead of HR professionals calling 15 different people, they are sending a link, and with that link it says, hey, would you like to come in for an interview, and here are the times that are listed and the days that are listed, and basically you pick when you want to go in for an interview. But if you're not checking your email, or your email is incorrect, you're going to be out of the running for that particular position just based on that. So you don't want that. So be sure that all of those things in the who you are kind of section of your resume are correct. What you've done, be sure that you've done something. Most students here at Shelton obviously work and are going to school. Probably you do too, because you're coming to school in the afternoon or evening. So what I would suggest is make sure that you have talked about the jobs that you have done and how that relates to the jobs that you want to do. Students often tell me, hey, I've only worked at McDonald's. Working at McDonald's is one of the things, is a job that more than anything offers customer service, which is a part of every job. It shows that you're able to work with a diverse group of people, and obviously handle your temper, because we all know when the ice cream machine goes out at McDonald's, everybody is mad at you. So you want to be sure that you say the skills that you've learned, whether it's handling money, any of those type of things, you want to be sure you put those on your resume. So at McDonald's, it may not be that you clean the cabinets or whatever. You want to talk about the things that are going to help you for your next job, which would be customer service, working with diverse groups of people, those kind of things, or things you want to have on your resume for someone to look at. And also, you want to be able to express what you can do for the company. How can you make the company money? Obviously, companies are looking for people to make them money. Companies exist, most of them for profit, so they are wanting to know how you can help them help themselves to make money. So be sure that when you're looking at your resume, don't only look at it as, let me put these things down that are requirements for the job. Try to make yourself stand out from the other people that are applying for the job by telling them not only who you are, but what you've done in the past and what you can do to help them make their job money. Now, if you need help with resumes, since you have taken this class through Shelton State, you can get in touch with me, and I will be glad to help you look at your resume, go over your resume, and help you prepare it to go out into the workforce. Another thing that we offer here at Shelton State is mock interviews. So I have a lot of students that come to my office, and we all have some nervous tick. So when we're nervous about going to an interview, no matter whether we think we're going to get nervous about an interview or not, we all do. So a lot of students will twirl their hair or tap their nails. I've even had some students that have started crying just because that is the way that they express themselves when they become nervous. You don't want to do that in an interview. The number one thing about interviews, I would say, is to be prepared. Know what you want to say and know how you want to say it about yourself. So go to the job description that you have, know what the company is looking for, and know exactly how to verbalize that in an interview. A lot of students I have found also do not talk. I think our cosmetology students and our nursing students are really good at interviews because they are made to interact and talk with people. But a lot of our other students don't necessarily have that skill because they don't have to interact. Maybe they're texting or they're emailing and they don't have that skill. So I would say one of the main things that I would suggest is to get in front of a mirror or in your car. You can Google a list of interview questions, and just maybe the first one that they would ask is, tell me a little bit about yourself, and actually listen to yourself saying those words, because a lot of times if you don't have practice in that area, it's very hard to talk and verbalize. Now, you could write a paragraph or a text about yourself and send it to them, but they're looking for someone who also has those verbal communication skills. Mock interviews are available here at Shelton. I can help you with that, and also Interview Stream, which is a computer-based program that you can the lady behind the screen asks you questions. You do have to have a webcam, and you answer the questions, and then you're able to critique yourself. Going along that same area, what I would tell you is that a lot of students that come here come in jeans, shorts, t-shirts, right what they've had on in high school, or maybe there were scrubs every day because they're in a doctor's office environment. We do have a career closet here at Shelton State that you can take advantage of that has professional clothing that you can wear to an interview, and you'll be able to take those clothes with you to your job. So also be able to, you're able to take advantage of those. There are a couple of things that I did want to mention along with these things. When you get your resume ready and people are looking at that and they say, I want to bring this person in for an interview, that is great, but you also need to make sure that your social media pages are clean and appropriate, and that is not going to cost you your job. Social media is one of those things that if you do not have the appropriate if you have something on there that's questionable, whether it's political or it's about Alabama football or it's about opinion that you have. I tell students here all the time, you know, I love Alabama as much as the next person. However, I'm not the crazy Alabama fan, but a lot of our technical students here are going to go work for people who have gone to maybe project management school at Auburn. They don't want the crazy Alabama fan. And so if they're looking at your Facebook page and that's all you're posting about, if someone has the same qualifications, they may go to someone else. Also, when you're on the job, be very careful about what you post about your job on social media. One of the main things that people are getting fired for right now, other than drug use, is the way they're using social media. We had a student that was going to get a job at DCH, which is one of the biggest employers, and posted something about the way the job search had gone on social media, and they didn't get the job because of it. So be very careful about social media. While we're talking about that, I did mention drug use, and people don't always want to hear what I have to say about this, but area employers tell us that students do not get to work on time, and they are often fired for drug use, and that's one of the main reasons that they lose their workforce. So whether it is illegal drugs or prescription drugs, you know, I have 3 children, and I will admit that I have taken cough syrup of theirs. However, I'm a lot more careful about that now because there is a company in town who had a zero tolerance policy, and there was a gentleman who had a drug test, and he says, you know, this can't be true. I don't use drugs. What they found was his child's cough medicine in his profile, and he did not have a prescription for that, and so he was fired. So you want to be sure that you know your company's drug policy and that you're following that. So not that he was into anything illegal, illegal drugs or anything like that, but he was dismissed for that. One thing I want to tell you is to set goals for yourself. Know what you want to do and try to accomplish those things. Finding a job and getting a job requires setting some goals and treating it like a job. A job search can be very, very time consuming. So for example, if you call and keep a log of what you're doing, if you want a job if you apply at Dr. A's office, you want to be sure the next week maybe you're following up with them, you're seeing did they get your application, maybe even stopping by that office. A lot of people really hide behind internet, computers, that kind of thing now. If someone actually puts a face with a name, it is a really big deal. And the last thing I would say is to be coachable. Be able to take criticism from an employer or someone else that's worked there for longer than you. Be sure that you're able to listen to what they're saying. Even if in your class you learned how to draw blood or do something a certain way, in that doctor's office they may want it to be done differently. And so be sure that you're able to be coachable. These are just some tips that I have for you. If you need any help with getting your resume together, getting an outfit together to go to interviews, interview skills, any of those kind of things, please let me know. My name is Amy Henderson. My phone number here at Shelton is 205-391-3785. 2204, and my email address is ahenderson, ahenderson @sheltonstate.edu. If you have any questions, feel free to call me at any time. Just let me know that you saw my video, and I'll know how to work with you, and let Miss Margie know as well. So if you have any questions, let me know. It's been a fun afternoon or evening, and thank you very much.